Welcome to Senior Wellness. If your erections are not as firm as they once were, if your energy vanishes before noon, and if that inner fire you once had has dwindled to a faint ember, the problem is not your age. The problem is a profound nutritional deficiency that is silently crippling your masculine vitality. A shocking 70% of men over the age of 60 are starved of the exact non-negotiable nutrients their bodies require to generate testosterone, maintain powerful blood flow, and sustain peak performance. I am not talking about synthetic hormone injections or risky expensive pills. I am talking about a biological crisis at the cellular level. I am Dr. Michael Smith, and for many years I have helped thousands of men just like you bypass the conventional "it's just your age" excuse and address the true underlying cause of their decline. There are 5 essential vitamins and minerals that act as the master controls for your strength, your stamina, and your sexual health. When these controls are offline, your entire system fails. Stay with me because I am about to expose this hidden deficiency. I will reveal precisely which 5 nutrients are critical, explain how they form a powerful synergistic network, and uncover the one devastating mistake that keeps most men feeling tired, weak, and disconnected. What you are about to learn is not a temporary fix. It is the blueprint to rebooting your body's core masculine functions. Before we dive into this critical intelligence, I urge you to join our community of men who are choosing to master their prime. Hit that subscribe button and activate the notification bell right now. The journey to reclaiming your power starts here, and you will not want to miss a single step. If this information resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback is crucial. Now let's get straight to the point. It's time to flip the main power switch on your body's internal grid. 1. Vitamin D, the main power switch. The very first nutrient. Every man over 60 must pay attention to the one I consider the master switch for your energy. Your performance and your ability to achieve and maintain a firm erection is vitamin D. The vast majority of men are dangerously low in this nutrient, and the consequences extend far beyond how you feel from day to day. Let me explain why this single nutrient may be the fundamental key to waking up with renewed energy and with physical firmness once again. I will never forget a man named Arthur who came into my clinic at the age of 67. He was a retired architect, a man who had spent his life creating beautiful, strong structures. Yet he had the look I have seen countless times, a weariness in his eyes, slumped shoulders, and a quiet frustration he struggled to articulate. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like my own blueprint is fading. I wake up feeling drained. The creative spark I used to have is gone, and when the moment for intimacy with my wife arrives, it feels like the lights are off in the building." He had resigned himself to the idea that this was just the inevitable decline of age. But I have learned something profound over my years in practice that every man deserves to hear. It is not always your age that is the problem. Sometimes your body is simply missing the essential components it needs to execute its own design. And the very first place I always look is vitamin D. I call vitamin D the main power switch for a reason. Without it, your entire hormonal engine simply will not turn over, no matter how well maintained the other parts are. It plays an absolutely critical role in the production of testosterone, the very hormone that fuels your strength, your drive, your ambition, and yes, your ability to get hard. The problem is, by the time you reach your 60s, your body's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight dramatically decreases. Your skin is less efficient. At this conversion, you likely spend more time indoors, and your diet is rarely rich enough in the specific sources of this vitamin. Slowly, insidiously, without you even realizing it, your levels plummet and your performance goes down with them. When we tested Arthur's blood, his vitamin D level was a mere 18 nanograms per milliliter. For context, I aim to see my older male patients well above 50. That single number told me a powerful story. I started him on a simple regimen, 5,000 international units of high-quality vitamin D3 every morning, taken with a source of healthy fat, like a handful of almonds or a spoonful of olive oil, to ensure his body could properly absorb it. Within 3 weeks, Arthur called my office. I will never forget the change in his voice. It had a vibrancy, a resonance I had not heard before. He said, "Doctor, I don't know what kind of architectural magic this is, but I woke up this morning with energy, with an idea for a new project, and with morning wood for the first time in what feels like a lifetime." It was not magic. It was his body's power grid finally getting the electricity it had been starved of for years. What makes vitamin D so potent is that its influence goes far beyond testosterone. It also sharpens your cognitive function, elevates your mood, strengthens your immune system, and significantly reduces inflammation. That last point is enormous. Chronic inflammation is like electrical static in your body's wiring. It disrupts circulation, it damages delicate nerve endings, and it blocks the very signals required for you to perform in the bedroom. But when your vitamin D levels are optimal, your body can begin to quiet that static, allowing it to heal, regulate, and respond the way it was designed to. Now, a quick but critically important note. Always choose vitamin D3, not D2. D3 is the form your body recognizes and utilizes most effectively. And for men over 60, I almost always recommend pairing it with vitamin K2. Here is why. While D3 helps your body absorb calcium, K2 acts as a traffic cop, directing that calcium into your bones where it belongs and keeping it out of your arteries where it can cause hardening and blockage. This simple pairing protects both your performance and your heart. Arthur's story is not an exception. It is the rule for countless older men who believed they were broken when in reality they were just running on an empty power supply. But activating the main power switch is just the beginning. Because without our next essential vitamin, even high testosterone levels will not translate into focused energy or lasting endurance. It is the difference between flipping the switch and having a clear, functioning communication network to carry that power throughout the entire system. Let's talk about that now. 2. Vitamin B12. The communication network. A few years ago, a gentleman named Frank sat across from me in my office. He was 72, a former salesman, always impeccably dressed and polite, but I could see a fog behind his eyes. He explained, "Doctor, it's not that I feel tired in my body. I feel drained in my mind. There is no spark. I find myself dozing off after breakfast, losing interest in conversations, and my mind just doesn't feel sharp anymore. My wife says it's like I'm in the room, but I'm not really present." I nodded because I have heard this narrative more times than I can count. This is not laziness. It is not necessarily depression. It is something deeper, and for a vast number of men over 60, that something is a silent deficiency in vitamin B12. Now, B12 might not sound as glamorous as testosterone, but let me be clear. It is the lifeblood of your body's communication network. It is what keeps your red blood cells healthy, enabling them to carry life-giving oxygen to every cell, and it is what keeps your entire nervous system firing on all cylinders. Without adequate B12, oxygen circulation falters. Your brain slows down, your muscles do not receive the signals to respond quickly, and your energy, both mental and physical, seems to vanish into thin air. What makes this especially challenging is that after the age of 60, your body naturally produces less stomach acid. Without sufficient stomach acid, you simply cannot cleave B12 from the food you eat and absorb it effectively. You could be eating a nutrient-rich diet and still be functionally deficient. When we tested Frank's B12 levels, they were significantly below the optimal range. They were not low enough to cause full-blown anemia, but they were low enough to be slowly, methodically stealing his energy, his focus, and yes, even his bedroom performance. That is right. B12's role is not just about mental energy. It is absolutely crucial for your ability to feel aroused, for your nerves to transmit the signals of pleasure and response, and for you to maintain the stamina when it matters most. And the most insidious part is that most men have no idea this is happening. We started Frank on a daily sublingual B12 supplement, 2,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin, which is simply placed under the tongue to dissolve. Within 2 weeks, the change was palpable. He was brighter, his posture was more upright, and his voice had more strength. His wife accompanied him on his next visit, and she said with tears in her eyes, "I have my husband back." That was a moment of profound significance. She was not interested in lab values. She was interested in the fact that he could laugh at a joke again, walk with purpose, and hold a conversation without losing his train of thought. She cared that they could be intimate again without the hesitation and embarrassment that had built a wall between them. All of that was reignited by something as simple and overlooked as B12. I specifically recommend the methylcobalamin form because it is the active bioavailable version your body can use immediately. It bypasses the digestive system's absorption issues, enters the bloodstream directly, and starts working fast. I have witnessed men go from foggy and fatigued to clear and connected simply by restoring their B12 levels to where they should be. But here is something most people fail to realize. When B12 is paired with the right nutrients, its effects are magnified. Your nerves become sharper, your blood moves more efficiently, and your erections can become stronger and last longer because the fundamental connection between your mind, your body, and your blood flow is fortified. Frank's story is one of many, and while his turnaround was incredible, the next vitamin we will discuss can do something just as powerful, but in a different way. It does not just fuel your energy or restore clarity. It defends your cells, enhances blood flow, and may just be the missing link in why your body is not responding physically during those private moments. Let's take a closer look at that now. 3. Vitamin E, the vascular superhighway. There is something deeply personal, a unique kind of weight that settles on a man when he feels he is losing his physical edge, especially sexually. I remember one particular patient, David, a 66-year-old passionate gardener who sat in my office in silence for nearly 5 minutes before he could find the words. When he finally spoke, his gaze was fixed on the floor. "Doc," he began, "I don't feel like myself anymore. I love my wife more than anything, but I can't perform. I can't stay hard. I feel like I am fading away." His voice cracked on the last few words, and in that moment, I could feel the immense weight of shame and quiet frustration he had been carrying likely for years. When we reviewed David's health profile, his testosterone was decent for his age, his blood pressure was managed, and his heart was strong. But there was a missing piece in the puzzle. That is when I asked him about vitamin E, a nutrient so many people overlook, yet it plays a monumental role in sexual health, particularly for older men. I call vitamin E the vascular superhighway because its primary role is to ensure the pathways of your body are open, flexible, and clear for traffic. It is a powerful antioxidant that protects your cells from damage, improves the flexibility of your blood vessels, and critically supports the production of nitric oxide, which is the key molecule responsible for relaxing and opening up blood vessels to allow for healthy erections. What most men do not fully grasp is that your ability to get and stay hard is not just about hormones or libido. At its core, it is a matter of hydraulics and blood flow. Without proper unimpeded circulation, nothing can happen. Vitamin E helps to open up those vascular pathways, supporting a smoother, more robust flow, and it protects the delicate tissues involved in arousal and intimacy from oxidative stress. It is like the high-quality oil for your engine, keeping all the moving parts running smoothly and preventing the friction and breakdowns that come with age. I started David on a daily dose of natural vitamin E, 400 international units of D-alpha tocopherol, taken with his lunch, which usually contained healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. It was not a miracle that happened overnight. But by the third week, he noticed something significant. He was waking up with spontaneous erections again. His physical sensitivity had returned. And most importantly, his confidence began to rebuild brick by brick. He told me, with a direct and steady gaze, "Doc, I can finally look my wife in the eye again." That is the kind of transformation no prescription drug can provide because it transcends mere physical performance. It is about restoring the part of you that feels masculine desired and vitally alive. It is crucial to note that not all vitamin E is created equal. Many of the over-the-counter versions are synthetic and far less effective. You must look for the natural form, D-alpha tocopherol, not the synthetic DL-alpha tocopherol version. And always take it with a source of healthy fat like nut seeds or olive oil to help your body absorb and utilize it properly. David's story was a powerful reminder of how many men suffer in silence, believing their best days are a distant memory, when in reality, their body is simply lacking a key component to function optimally. And the best part is that vitamin E does not just help with performance. It supports your heart health, your skin, your immune system, and your ability to feel connected again in those intimate moments that truly matter. But we are not finished yet. Because even if you're taking all the right vitamins, there is one hidden mineral that can make or break the entire equation. It is the key to restful sleep, steady blood pressure, and calm nerves. Without it, everything from your blood flow to your bedroom function can fall apart. Let's talk about that next. 4. Magnesium. The system regulator. There is something I often tell my patients that initially surprises them. I say, if you cannot rest well, you will not love well. This is because true lasting performance and intimacy do not begin with desire. They begin with the state of your nervous system. And there is one quiet but immensely powerful mineral that regulates it all. Magnesium. I call it the system regulator. Not because it simply makes you sleepy, but because it allows your body to let go of the tension, stress, and internal pressure that build up silently as we age. I once had a patient named Leo, a 71-year-old former executive. He was a man who was used to being in control, but he was visibly worn down. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I am constantly on edge. I do not sleep deeply. I wake up stiff and anxious, and no matter how much I want to be close to my wife, I can't relax enough to enjoy the moment." He was not dealing with a lack of desire. He was dealing with a body that had forgotten how to shift out of high gear and into a state of calm connection. That is when I knew that magnesium was likely the missing piece. As we get older, our magnesium stores naturally decline. Common medications like those for blood pressure or acid reflux can deplete it further. So can alcohol, caffeine, and even the chronic stress of modern life. Once your magnesium is low, a cascade of issues begins to unravel. Your sleep becomes shallow and fragmented. Your blood vessels constrict, which can raise your blood pressure. Your muscles remain tense, your mind stays restless, and when it is time to perform, your body is effectively sending a "not now, we are in a state of alert" signal. It is not a failure of motivation. It is a failure of regulation. With Leo, I started him on a regimen of 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate every evening. This form is particularly gentle on the stomach and highly absorbable, making it perfect for older men. After about 2 weeks, he walked into my office with a relaxed smile I had not seen before. "Doc," he said, "I have finally been sleeping through the night, and for the first time in months I was able to be with my wife without worry, without overthinking, and without failure." What many people forget is that magnesium works quietly in the background. It does not scream for attention like testosterone or a jolt of caffeine, but without it, your entire system struggles. Blood flow becomes restricted, making erections unreliable. Your recovery time increases. And even when you desperately want to connect with your partner, your body feels like it is stuck in survival mode. Magnesium helps your blood vessels relax and expand, allowing oxygen-rich blood to reach where it is needed most. It also plays a vital role in converting vitamin D into its active form, which, as we have already discussed, is essential for testosterone. It improves your sleep cycles, reduces anxiety, and promotes the kind of calm confidence every man deserves to carry into the bedroom. But there is something else, something deeper that happens. When you start sleeping well again, when your body finally gets the profound message that it is safe to rest and repair, everything begins to shift. You feel grounded. You feel present. You feel capable again, not just sexually, but in all areas of your life. Now, as powerful as magnesium is, there is another mineral that stands at the very center of male performance. If testosterone is the fire, this nutrient is the raw material your body needs to keep that fire burning brightly. Without it, your strength, your drive, and your ability to rise to the occasion will slowly fade away. Let me show you what it is and how you can start using it to your advantage. 5. Zinc, the raw fuel source. There is a moment in nearly every man's life when he begins to notice a subtle change. It does not happen overnight, but gradually. Maybe it is feeling a little slower to get out of bed in the morning. Maybe it is struggling to maintain firmness when it truly counts. Or maybe it is the quiet, almost imperceptible disappearance of that inner fire, that driving force that used to burn without any conscious effort. For many of the men I see in my practice, that moment eventually crystallizes into a silent, nagging question. Is this just what aging feels like? Or is there something wrong with me? I have asked that question myself, and I have heard it from my patients more times than I can possibly count. And in a remarkable number of cases, the answer lies in something incredibly simple, yet profoundly overlooked: zinc. I call zinc the raw fuel source because without it, your body cannot even begin the process of making testosterone, let alone maintain healthy levels of it. It is the fundamental building block, the essential raw material, the non-negotiable ingredient in the recipe for masculine vitality. And here is the hard truth: most men over the age of 60 are running low on this critical mineral. Zinc is lost through sweat, through stress, through ejaculation, and its absorption is hindered by alcohol and processed foods. Our modern agricultural soils are often depleted of it, meaning our diets lack a robust source. Over time, we become depleted too, feeling tired, foggy, unmotivated, and disconnected from our core masculine energy. I remember a man named Martin who came to see me at the age of 69. He was still sharp, still active, but he was quietly worn down. He told me, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. I am not depressed, and I am not in pain. I just don't feel that inner drive that I used to have." His testosterone levels were on the lower end of the normal range, but what really caught my professional attention was his zinc level. It was critically low. I started him on a daily dose of 30 milligrams of zinc picolinate, along with a small amount of copper, to ensure the minerals remained in proper balance. Within a month, something had shifted. It was not that he walked differently. He stood differently taller, more assured. His voice was stronger, more grounded. He looked me directly in the eye and said, "I feel like I got my edge back." That is what zinc does. It restores that essential edge, not in a flashy, artificial manner, but from deep within, by empowering your body to do what it was intrinsically designed to do. Zinc also provides critical support for prostate health, strengthens the immune system, is essential for sperm production, and aids in recovery after physical exertion or sex. It enhances your ability to stay hard, to stay present, and to bounce back faster, all things that begin to slow down when this vital mineral runs low. The benefits extend far beyond the bedroom. Men who optimize their zinc levels often report clearer thinking, better moods, and even stronger hair and nails. It is one of those rare nutrients that touches nearly every system in the male body. But here is the part that almost no one talks about. Zinc does not work in isolation. It needs to be part of a team, a synergistic group of nutrients that support and amplify each other's effects. And when you take them together in the right way, with the right timing, something incredible begins to happen. You stop feeling like you're just managing the process of aging, and you start feeling like you're truly living again, with vigor and purpose. Now, up until this point, we have focused on the individual nutrients you need, but there is something else just as important. Something most men never realize. It is not just what you take, it is how these vitamins and minerals interact with each other. When you understand that synergy, that is when the real transformation begins. Let's look at how these 5 essentials work better together than they ever could alone. Conclusion. You know, after all these years working with men in their 60s, 70s, and even well into their 80s, I have come to believe something that no lab result or medical textbook can fully explain. It is this: inside every single man, no matter how many years have passed, there is still a spark waiting to be reignited. There is a part of you that still wants to live fully, to love deeply, and to feel strong, steady, and desired. And the profound truth is that this spark does not die with age. It simply dims when the body is undernourished, overwhelmed, or has been forgotten. What we have talked about today is not just theory. It is a practical, real-world blueprint. These 5 essential nutrients, vitamin D, B12, vitamin E, magnesium, and zinc, are not just supplements. They are fundamental building blocks. They each play a specific, crucial role in restoring what the passage of time has quietly taken away. Vitamin D provides the hormonal foundation your body needs to support arousal and energy. B12 recharges your nervous system and clears the fog from your brain. Vitamin E protects your circulation and strengthens physical performance. Magnesium calms your entire system, improves your sleep, and allows your body to rest and repair. And zinc, it is the force behind your drive, the multiplier for your hormones, and the very backbone of your masculine vitality. But as we have seen, the real lasting transformation does not come from just taking them randomly. It comes from rhythm, from routine, from bringing them together in a daily practice that supports your body not just once in a while, but every single day. That is how genuine, sustainable change happens. And the biggest mistake so many men make is not sticking with it long enough to feel that profound shift. Because this is not about chasing a quick fix. This is about reclaiming control of your own biology, one intelligent step at a time. I have seen men who had nearly given up all hope, men who had not felt confident in their own skin for years, start to feel their strength return. Their posture changes. Their voice grows firmer. Their relationships deepen. One man who had been quietly avoiding intimacy with his wife for over a year finally pulled her close again after just a few weeks on this plan. Another told me he started hiking again, something he had not had the energy for since his retirement. And almost all of them told me the same thing in their own different words: I feel like myself again. So if you're sitting there listening to this and wondering whether any of it will really work for you, I want to be completely honest. You will not feel it all overnight. But if you give your body the consistent support it has been missing, if you stay consistent for just 5 minutes a day, you will notice the change. You will sleep deeper. You will think more clearly. You will wake up with more drive. And yes, you will begin to feel stronger and more connected during the moments that matter most. Because you are not too old, you are not too far gone, and you are certainly not finished. You are simply at a stage in life where the fuel your body needs is different. But when you give it the right fuel daily and intentionally, you will be amazed at how quickly the engine of your vitality roars back to life. So take what you have learned today, make a simple plan, keep it consistent, and trust that the man you once were, the man you still are, is not lost. He is just waiting for you to light the spark. If this guide has empowered you today, please show your support by hitting that like button. More importantly, share your own journey or questions in the comments below. Your story matters, and it can inspire other men. And if you have not already subscribed to Senior Wellness for more no-nonsense practical advice to help you thrive in every aspect of your life, thank you for investing in yourself. Stay strong and live fully.